Hi, it's Mitch from pickdawgz.com. I got the Puck Dogs with me. Steve Monahan's got some tech difficulties. I'm going to guess he's going to try and pop in here in a little bit. His computer wasn't working, so he's trying to Skype in on his phone, and we had like this one of those really weird angles that stopped his picture, and it was kind of like his face was pressed up against the phone. It was very, let's just say, it wasn't good. All right, I'll leave it there. Speaking of not good, how about my Iowa pick beating Charles Ormsby's computer yesterday? But we all loved Butler, and the Butler did it again, man. They're just savage. I mean, they're going to win the whole thing. They're my pick right now to win the whole thing. I mean, Butler, my Final Four, Butler, Baylor, Kansas, Gonzaga. Chris, who do you like for your Final Four if the season ended today?
I still have to think Duke, Butler, Oregon, and Gonzaga.
You don't like Baylor or Kansas?
I just think they run into one of those 4 teams in the Elite Eight.
How about you, Rod? Any Final Four for you right now? I think that, to me, Duke is a fringe for me this year. Kentucky, always a factor. And, there's definitely some other teams, like you said, Oregon, definitely going to be a factor. And, some teams are going to get better, too. And, the beast that can come out of nowhere is Dayton, right? I mean, they're going to bust somebody up pretty good. They get the wrong side of the seating on somebody, they're going to bust somebody up real bad in the tournament. If they end up slipping on above a 5 seed, they're going to really hurt somebody, is what I think is going to happen. Second round. It's one of those second round bludgeonings of a high seed.
For me, get Gonzaga, Kansas, Baylor, Butler. Top 4.
Yeah, that's me. That's the same as mine.
So, is it?
Yeah.
They've been playing the best basketball.
Yeah, I think, and I think that there's some other teams that can definitely do it. I think Seton Hall is going to be a factor. If Seton Hall made a run, if Texas Tech made another run, I mean, no one's beaten Auburn yet. So, these are all teams, and Auburn made it last year, and they got Bruce Pearl. So, I mean, there's a lot of different, But today, I mean, today I would say we're in the weeds, right? We are in the thick of it with college hoops right now. Of course, we got NFL action. We're going to hold off and see Steve Monahan has now sent me a text. Start without me. Yeah, we already did. We already did. Come on when you get your stuff together. All right. There it is. Of course, our website is pickdawgz.com. Those of you that missed just a couple minutes ago, I did a demo of the spread knowledge software. Charles is still honoring the free trial. It's going to be a 7-day free trial, and then the pricing after that is $49.99 a month. That pricing is going away. It's way too cheap. It's going to $79.99. I'm going to guess it's not going to even hang there very long, because this is a $300 a month plus a product. Plus, I've seen worse for a lot more. But let's just quickly get into some picks, because we don't have a ton of time today, and we had a lot of action to cover. So let's just jump right into the nitty gritty, and we're gonna, like I said, we'll hold off from the NFL until Steve gets here. But let's just go to the NHL then. We got a really big card of games. I don't know if we'll have time to go through all of them, but I'll just pick a couple off to start, and then we'll see how it goes from there if we have time to fill in the other ones. We got the Flyers and the Lightning. It's a mild spread here for the Lightning. We have, we've seen the Lightning in the minus 200 range a lot this season, and they are now 9-1 in their last 10 games. So the odds makers have dialed in on the Lightning. But here are the Flyers on Saturday night, and with the Eagles out of the playoffs, I don't think these people give a crap about that 49ers-Vikings game. I think they're going to be at the stadium, and I think they're going to be watching this game. I think this is a game they care about. They love their Flyers. Rod, what do you think here? Tampa Bay, Philly.
For me, I look at this game and the way Tampa Bay has been playing this last week. They're looking like the Tampa Bay team from last year. They're just rolling over people. And this Flyers team has not looked like they have been like when I have been on them and riding them. But so for me here, give me Tampa on the puck line.
Chris?
Yeah, I'm actually going to take a shot with Philly at home here. The struggles that they had last week, I think, were a big product of that road trip, and we saw what happened when they finally got home. They had that game against Carolina that they lost. They come home and they beat Washington at home. So I think there's some value with Philly at home, having only lost there in regulation twice this year. I'll take Philly plus 125.
Chris, we got the Rangers at 2-1 on our money against the St. Louis Blues. It's a big price.
Yeah,
it kind of jumps off the screen, and that's why I landed on it. Anything there that leads you to believe that the Rangers can pull this off?
I mean, they have beaten St. Louis in 5 of the last 7, but that's, I think, the only angle you can look at. They only play each other twice a year, so it's kind of hard to give a little bit of merit to that. But I'm not like Rod. I don't have an I Love Binnington tattoo on my arm with the heart around the outside, but...
you like Boston, though? Where you got a Boston?
I do like I got the Boston Kiss tattoo on my butt. No, I like St. Louis on the puck line here. I just think they've been picking up wins left and right. They're in that stretch that they kind of rode to the playoffs last year. They're on another one of those hot streaks. So I'll take St. Louis on the puck line here.
Yeah, that's what I got to go with. The Blues are 7-0. Their last 7 at home. And they're just playing great hockey at home, playing great hockey altogether. But so are the Rangers, though. Give me the Blues on the puck line. I think they can get a couple, beat the Rangers.
I'm going to do Virginia Tech minus the 2 against NC State. I really don't like NC State after the way they played last week against Clemson. These guys just, it's just bumbling and stumbling. I don't understand what's going on at NC State as far as, I don't know what the strategy is, It's like most teams have an identity and a strategy, but NC State, I can't figure it out for the life of me. This comment's really big for some reason. I don't have the ability to ring Steve. He's asking me to ring him, but I don't have the ability to do that. So let's see if that's better. There we go.
Yeah, just join the group and join the call.
Yeah, I should be able to just join our call. But I like Virginia Tech minus the 2. Of course, if there's a game on here that you're really interested in and I don't cover it, and we don't cover it on this show, and it's one of the bigger games, you can go over to YouTube, and I did 25 videos for today. So that's all the NBA. I did 14 or 15 college basketball games, as well as both NFL football games. So I did 27 videos for today. Plus, if you can't find the pick there, we have free picks on every single game on the board at pickdawgz.com. So be sure to check that out. Let's see if we got Steve Monahan who's joined us yet. I wonder if there's a way that I can ring him again. But anyways, I can tell you I don't have a video on that Georgia State game, but a lot of the lines on the move here, a lot of lines on the move this morning from where they opened last night, especially for such a gigantic card. And maybe they're moving because the action is so spread across the board, it's impossible to bet all 49. Yeah, there's a video on that Kentucky-Alabama game, so feel free to head on over to our YouTube channel and watch it. But VCU against URI, everyone knows, well, not everyone knows. If this is your first time joining us, you're going to learn something new. If you've been watching us, then you know this, and that's that I hate the Rhode Island Rams. They're an anti-Rhode Island Ram, but this is Rams versus Rams. And I think someone's going to get rammed, and I think it's going to be Rhode Island because I don't like the way they've been playing recently, to be honest. I mean, the Puck Dawgz and Steve Monahan took them last week. They got run again after losing to Brown. I'll tell you what, you can't beat Brown, you ain't going to beat VCU, and you're not going to even get close. I know VCU's been horrible against the spread, but they're actually ramping it up. I mean, have you ever seen a 12-3 team this bad against the number? Well, I guess we have. We have. But this team has definitely gotten a lot better. A lot better. So I like VCU here. I'm going to lay the points. It's 8.5. Go back to NHL. Chris, is there any college basketball? Do you want to pick a game that you have on your card that you want to talk about? Because this is what happens at the end of the show, what I've noticed, is that all of a sudden, out of the blue, you just say, like, Davidson. I like Davidson, I like this, and you kind of, like, mumble through them. But it's like maybe if you give a little bit of clarification, we'll kind of cut over to you and we'll let you talk about a game. Instead of just like, Davidson 14, I also like the thing. Then he goes like this, I like the bird cage. Bird cage. Bruins. I don't see Wolf of Wall Street, like the scene where Steve Madden, Bruins.
How did you know they were one of my college hoops? No, I'm kidding. I want a game I keyed on for the 12 o'clock games. I like Alabama against plus the 10 against Kentucky. I just think this is one of the better 8-6 teams that you're going to see. They're 11-3 against the number on the road. On the season. On the road, they're 3-1 against the number, 8-1 against the number in their last 10 games. I just think Kentucky's getting a little bit overpriced. Even at home, I just think Alabama has what it takes to hang with them here. I like Alabama and the points.
We got a guy here asking about Dayton. I mean, he refuses to phrase it in the form of Team A versus Team B in the point spread, so I have to look the game up because there's 104 games on the card, and I'm just supposed to know this one off the top of my head. But it's like he's asking enough times, and I'm just going to answer him just to stop. But he needs to know our opinion on a 20-point line game. I don't like it enough that I was willing to jump on it. That's for sure. But I mean, UMass is not a good team, but Dayton 9-0 at home, 4-4 against the number. This is just a straight avoid. I mean, I don't want to lay 19 points today. I don't have to. I got 104 games on the card. I got a million other places to be. Normally, I'll at least give an opinion, but I ain't doing it this time. There we go. Dayton. Whatever, I found the penny. It was under the computer. Dayton versus UMass, 19 points. UMass plus 19. Now that's settled.
Now that that's settled, I'm not touching that game. Too many points. There's way better games on the board. We are here.
But anyways, Chris, what else you like?
A couple other games. I like Tulane plus the 9.5 against Temple. Tulane just hung around with UConn pretty well on the road. I mean, they haven't been a great team, but I just think Temple has the tendency to sort of play down to lower competition. So I think Tulane can keep this one within 9 points. So also looking at Rutgers, I just think this is the best Rutgers basketball team I've seen in some time, even on the road against Illinois. I think Rutgers could make this a game, maybe down at the final couple possessions. So I'll take Rutgers plus the 5.
Against Illinois, I like the other side of that game. I'm on Illinois in that one. I just think the Big Ten teams at home have been just so tough. And we've seen this Illinois team tough as nails this season. This is no pushover. These guys are no joke. And I know Rutgers is a good team, but most of their damage has been at home. And as of late, I haven't seen the same kind of strong play. Of course, we have some inverse line movement that supports Chris's side here. Says that,
I like Rutgers too. Go Rutgers.
Yeah, I'm on the other side. I don't know. I just think Illinois is a better team. I mean, you have the better team at home. You know, it's like, I don't know. Rutgers has won 6 in a row. Illinois, coming off of the win at Wisconsin, beat Purdue with an inch of their life. 63-37. That's I think that's a definitive ass kicking. It's not just an ass kicking. That's a definitive ass kicking. Yeah, the Big Ten's only had 3 home in-conference losses all season long. It was that one, that Wisconsin game, Wisconsin at Ohio State. I mean, we can name them off the top of our head. They happen so rare. All right. Anyways, who else do you like, Chris?
A couple other ones I was looking at for the afternoon. I just think Baylor getting 8 against Kansas, it's just too many points. It's like we said, Baylor's just a really, really good team, and I just see 8 points with Baylor. I'm like, okay, I'll take them. Even against Kansas.
The other direction, you know, it's odd that there's so much coming in. It's inverse line movement on Kansas, which is odd in that game. I'm with you there.
Yeah.
What else?
And the other one I had down was Creighton plus 3.5 against Xavier. Xavier just they're great at home. They just haven't been covering the number.
Hold on. Xavier, like with the Z. Xavier.
Oh, sorry.
Xavier.
The exercise.
I mean, what happens is we start mispronouncing names, like my App State, and these guys, they want your head. It's like college fans are a little different. In the NFL, it doesn't matter what you say. You know, it's like most of the people have no idea what they're talking about. But like college, Xavier.
Okay. So Creighton plus the 3.5.
Stanford Cardinal, not Cardinals. It's Cardinal. It's like,
yeah, Xavier just, I mean, they've been great at home. They just haven't covered the number. Creighton, it's like we've said before, is one of like the best Creighton teams we've had in some time, and they just shoot the ball so well.
I like this Creighton team. I think they're a Sweet 16 team.
Yeah.
Maybe Elite 8.
Yeah, they're experienced. They have experience going on the road, so I'll take Creighton plus the 3.5.
Rod, did you have any college hoops that you liked today?
Yeah, for me, give me DePaul plus 3. I'm going to take a shot on the money line here. DePaul just seems to own St. John's up.
They're playing, man, because we got 104 games on the schedule. It's like Team A versus Team B with the point spread. How many times do I got to say this?
DePaul is playing St. John's today. They are 12-3 in the last 15 head-to-head against St. John's. I think DePaul comes in and gets the win. You can take the points plus 3 to be safer, but I'm going to sprinkle some on the money line here as well. And I'm going to take Kansas minus 7. Something wrong with that. Baylor. I think Kansas can beat them today. What else do I got?
Anything else?
Yeah, Ohio State. Give me Ohio State minus 2.5 over Indiana today.
I'm on the other side of that one. That's for sure.
You like Indiana today?
Well, I like I like home teams in the Big Ten. I think going against the home teams in the Big Ten is dead. There's only been 3 road wins in all season. So you got a light line. I don't like Indiana. I don't trust them as far as I can throw them. But it's like until we see that teams can consistently win on the road in the Big Ten. I mean, look at what Iowa did to Maryland last night. I mean, even spread knowledge couldn't help them. I mean,
no.
And I have to say, I gave that pick out, on the show with Steve and with Charles on the show. And not a lot of people on the show had my back there. I mean, I always back you guys in the Facebook group, man. No one was like, Mitch, you're going to win. You're going to take him down. Everyone was like, it's like, oh, the computer likes it. Bye, Mitch. We'll see you later. Here, you stand over here on the side. Look at this. But I mean, it's possible.
Anything's possible.
So, anything else, Rod? On the
I like Georgia State. Give me Georgia State over ULM.
Yeah, the idea of this segment is that at the end of the show, you guys kind of just read these picks off, and they kind of come out of left field. This is a chance to kind of explain your picks, is what we're trying to do here. It's like instead of just, because normally we go over your NHL picks with you guys, and then at the end of the show, you guys start reading off picks, and it's kind of like, where the hell did that come from? It's like,
I understand what you're saying, because all of a sudden we do. All of a sudden, we would go through all our NHL, and then all of a sudden we throw these other picks out at the end of the show, and you're like, what the heck was that?
Yeah, so that's the whole idea.
I mean, I like Georgia State. ULM's 1-3-1 the last 5 on the road.
I like Georgia State also in this one. I'm with you there. I think to me that's a strong play. Georgia State is a play until they tell us they're not.
Until they're not, yeah. They're just going to roll in. I like Penn State here to rebound after their loss to Rutgers. I'm not a fan of this Wisconsin team. They've been up and down, and they're not consistent enough for me. I think Penn State bounces back today.
Anything else?
I think we're good on college hoops there.
All right. So, Virginia beat Syracuse in the first meeting of these two teams. And I think they beat them again here. I know the public and the money and everything here is going Syracuse's way. I think it just makes this more bettable for Virginia. Now that it's off that big number at 8 and it's down to a more bettable 6.5. Now this is a stronger play for me, and it's like I had it as kind of like I think Syracuse, I think they bottle them up, and Virginia's just it's impossible to win there, unless you're really, really, really good, you're not going to win at Virginia. It's not going to happen, and when you get to the 8 numbers with a team that doesn't score a lot of points, you're starting to get into that, it's like 12 for other people, but at 6.5, that's different because that gets into when they start playing the foul game at the end of the game. And Virginia has some guys that can hit foul shots. And so I like Virginia here minus the 6.5. That is so when I do my regular YouTube videos and I tell people to watch the live show for updates, this is one of those for me. I like Virginia here. I like them at this new line at 6.5. Full 1.5 of value that we weren't getting when I did the video pick last night. Also, I kind of like what was I gonna say? Oh my God! Forget it. We'll come back to it. Let's go back to some NHL. Got ahead of myself. So we'll go back to NHL, and we have the. Hey, how about the Lakers last night, man? Woo! That was a no mercy game, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know if Steve's going to join us or not. I do not know what the issue is here.
He something came up on Skype here, and there was a little...
He said he's having issues.
Yeah, so he's not coming on, so we'll have to do the football after this ourselves. Back to NHL. Calgary minus 145 versus Edmonton. Rod?
Big old battle of Alberta. Huge game. This is always a huge game where they beat the snot of each other. Calgary won the first battle of Alberta. I'm going to go with the Oilers winning today's battle of Alberta.
How about you, Chris? Who do you like in Alberta?
Yeah, I'm on Edmonton too. Calgary's just struggled on home ice lately. They lost 5 of their last 7 home games. We rag on Edmonton for being a 2-man show, but they're still a talented team between 2 teams that don't like each other. I'll take the plus money. I'll take Edmonton plus 140.
Boston Bruins against the Islanders.
Yeah, I'm on the Islanders here. Just taking a shot based on value. The Bruins just aren't a world beater on the road, and latest kind of price against an Islanders team that's been really good at home ice. I'll take the Islanders at plus 110.
Rod?
I'm going to go the other way. I'll take your Boston. Boston's waking up, and they're Pasternak scored a hat trick last game. They're rolling. Give me Boston.
Got 2 NFL games today. We got the Titans against the Ravens. I did videos on both these games, so I'm not going to get too deep into these things. Chris, Titans versus Ravens, we got a 10-point spread in this thing. I think that, the Ravens defense has not been stellar this year. The Titans are going to have to play a deliberate pace. Is really their only chance in this game. You want to keep Lamar Jackson and company off the field because they can hammer you so many different ways. They can score quick. They can run you over with big running backs. There's a lot of things they can do. They've become an offensive team this year, a team that's traditionally been defensive, the Ray Lewis, Ed Reed era. What do you got in the Titans-Ravens matchup?
I like the Titans here plus the 10. I mean, it's like you said, they're going to want to keep Lamar Jackson off the field. And what's the best way to do that? Hand it to a running back like Derrick Henry. You just my Patriots for 182 rushing yards or something like that.
Us. You're like looking at the desk.
Sorry. Derrick Henry, pounded the Patriots on the ground, and I think he can do the same against the Ravens here. I know I'm not the biggest Tannehill supporter, but I just think Derrick Henry's going to be a bit of an equalizer for the Titans, and they're well coached. We saw what they did with Mike Vrabel, and I think they can keep it within 10 points here. So I'll take the Titans.
How about you, Rod?
I'll take Baltimore here. I think the Titans are in deep water here. They're not. You just stop Derrick Henry, and then what? You're going to make Tannehill throw? Sure, he can throw the deep ball, but I got a big feeling he's going to throw some picks today. I think Baltimore runs right over the Titans today.
Congratulations on your win over New England. You had a nice season. Better luck next year.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I don't think the Titans can keep up the scoring the way that Baltimore can score. There's no. Give me Baltimore here.
How about San Francisco against Minnesota?
I'm on Minnesota here personally. I just think I like the way that they played, and I'm not a big Kirk Cousins in the big game fan, but there has to be something said for how well they played against the Saints, and I just think that Minnesota can keep it maybe a 3-4 point game. So I'll take the Vikings plus the free touchdown.
How about you, Rod?
Yeah, I'll give me the Vikings and the points too. I think they can keep it within a touchdown here.
When we start to get into these rounds of the playoffs, where there's only now 8 teams left, I think this is where special teams decides games. And so I think just keep it in mind. Like I said, I've done videos on these games. I've done premium picks. I've talked about them all I can talk about them. Of course, I'll be on at halftime of both games. But I think that when you start getting to this, to this level of quality, and it's like there's only 8 teams left. So these are the elite of the NFL. There's 32 teams in the NFL. So a quarter of the teams are left to play. There's not a lot of difference. These are the games that are decided by 2 or 3 plays, and while on paper, it could look like a blowout, and Lamar Jackson's going to run up and down, and he's gonna. It's not a matter of it's not a matter of can the Titans fully stop Lamar Jackson. That's not going to happen. He's gonna rip off a 16-yard run here and an 18-yard run there. And it's going to be a backbreaker, too, where it's like they have him on 3rd and 11 or something, and they think they got him, and all of a sudden it's like, first down. And that's what he does. And it's going to happen. And the Titans are going to do some things that are going to frustrate the Ravens, too. And, a team that's had a little less discipline overall over the years under Harbaugh. So expect to see some laundry in this game. So... But I think in these games, I think special teams has a lot to do with it. And I think, the Ravens win this game. I don't think they cover it. 10 points is a ton, but, they got a kicker that's just unbelievable. It's like, and that goes a long way, And, and it's not just the kicking, you have to always remember that the punter plays a key role in these games too, We see, where punters can't get guys out of jam. They give the other team, the ball at the 45-yard line instead of their own 20. It's like games are decided like this. I think we got good matchups here. I don't know if we have the 8 best teams left, but I think we have 8. I think we have 4 interesting games that you can seriously make a case, for all 4 underdogs, and you can make a serious case for all 4 favorites. And those are good games. I mean, like on Monday night, I can't make a case for LSU in that game. It's like I just can't. You can go over this game 600 times. I don't see how LSU can beat Clemson. I mean, it's just not there on paper. But like these games, you can make a case either way. It's like that Clemson LSU line makes no sense to me at all. Yeah, I don't even understand it. How is Clemson not a 3-point favorite in this game? I don't know. Anyways.
All the money's on LSU.
Yeah, well, because they play in a lot more TV games, on a lot more of the regular network TV games than Clemson does. But last time we saw Clemson in a big TV game, they beat Ohio State. And the time we saw them before that in a big TV game, they beat Alabama, and they beat the snot out of them. I mean, Alabama wanted out. They wanted to go home. They quit on the field. It's rare. I've only seen Nick Saban teams quit on the field twice. That game and against Urban Meyer's Utah, or Kyle Whittingham's Utah team in the Sugar Bowl a few years ago. Those are the only times I've ever seen Alabama just tap out, And the last year against Clemson, they tapped out. They wanted no part of that game. They were just done. They were like, we have no chance. And I think LSU is going to feel the same way. You're going to see the same thing. Thunder against the Lakers. Interesting game here. The line is inverted. Lakers now a 1-point favorite. I picked the Lakers yesterday against the Mavericks. I got crushed in the YouTube comments. I know this is kind of a recurring theme here. I get crushed in the YouTube comments when I make picks like that. And once again, kind of like the Clemson LSU game, I don't see the case for, I didn't see the case for the Mavericks in that game. But this one, the Thunder have been absolutely red hot. 8-2 in their last 10 games, 9-1 against the number. This is a team that people had written off. They'd written them off, right? Most people didn't even have them making the playoffs. And here they are. Obviously, the Lakers 31-7, but coming off of that game against Dallas, and the Lakers were up for that game. Anthony Davis didn't play, but the Lakers LeBron was up, he wanted that one. The best players want to play against the best players. Nobody, it's like, that's why, for me as a college football fan, when I see fans like Ohio State celebrating wins where they win by 50, 60 points against like Miami of Ohio or something, and cheering, when they're up by 70 and they're third string running backs are running off 50, 60-yard runs, I don't have a lot of respect for that, because the very best want to compete against the very, very best. And that's just the way that it is, and the way it's always been. And LeBron James, like him or hate him, he wants to play against the very best teams. It's like, when I go up against other websites and all these other guys, and they all have these studios and like 25 people doing it, I'm just me standing in front of a wall talking about, I don't know, I have to talk about, like, what was I talking about yesterday? Manhattan versus Niagara. It's like, I mean, that ain't easy, and you could see me up there, and, I might get some of these wrong. And it was like one of those games, like it was the Manhattan game. Some guy left a YouTube comment like I went on that YouTube video and said, this is a lock, bet your house on it. It was like, this is the Manhattan game on a Friday night, and there's nothing else on. It's like, and it's like, it just, to me, I don't understand it. It's like, I'm never going to understand it. But anyways, if you're watching this show, if you could hit the thumbs up, that's great. Anyways. We got Dallas now on the back-to-back playing against the Sixers team that, they've looked uninspired at times on the road this season too. Dallas, of course, lost last night against the Lakers. I think they kind of left a lot on the court too in that one. I have not been on the Sixers on the road much at all this season. I think this is the place and the time. I think this is where we get on Philly on the road, right here, right now. I think this is the game. I think when everybody else has finally cast them off, that's just right for us. I'm going to take Philly. I like them. We're getting 2 points here. We're not going to need it. They're going to beat them. They're going to beat them tonight. I think Luka left a lot on the court last night. He was super frustrated. He ripped his jersey, right? Back. You think that was bad. These guys have the ability to do the same thing. They got a ton of talent on that Philly team. I know they're underachievers, and no one's going to dispute that, not even the staunchest Sixer fans. But at the same time, super talented. Super, super, super talented.
I love that pick today.
Yeah.
It's
21% of the public on the Sixers here. 21%. And the line hasn't budged.
It hasn't moved yet.
Hasn't moved.
You get the Sixers here.
I love the Sixers here. Chris?
I was originally on Dallas, but you talked me onto the Sixers.
Bruins?
Bruins.
Is Tuukka Rask playing for the Sixers today?
I want Tuukka Rask at point guard. Give me the Bruins.
So, what do you think, like, of Chara? Like, if he was like kind of a post-up guy in the NBA, kind of like a Luke Longley or kind of like a Luke Longley or maybe a Dennis Rodman type in the NBA. Do you think he'd be like a super aggressive rebounder if that was the sport?
He'd be the guy that gets flagrants left and right for swinging the elbows.
Kurt Rambis. He'd be Kurt Rambis. That's who he'd be. Right? Some of these guys are such good athletes, they could play any sport. It really doesn't matter. And it's weird. Once in a while, you hear, like, obviously we don't know a lot of these guys personally, but once in a while you hear stories about, like, from the clubhouse, about, like, that one of these guys, there's a guy on the team that's just really good at everything. And it's rarely the guy you ever think it is. Like, Carlos Zambrano, who pitched for the Cubs and for the Marlins, supposedly no matter what game that they played, it didn't matter if he'd ever played it or not, he always won. Like, he had never picked up a tennis racket. He just slaughtered everybody, And it's just, there's certain guys, he never picked up a golf club. He could beat everybody. He's just, there's always one of those guys. And it's like, he might not be the guy that you would predict to do that on that team. Vita Blue was a guy like that, who was just like, it didn't matter what he could just pick up a guitar and start playing. It's kind of like, he's Taysom Hill, Taysom, Taysom Hill, counted to infinity 4 times.
Yeah.
All right, we got about 10 minutes left. Chris, is there any hockey here that's jumping off the page at you that we didn't go over yet? Because we got a very nice card here today. This is a great day of sports. We got 7 NBA. We got, 11 NHL. We got 104 college basketball and NFL playoffs, all packed into one day.
Yeah. A couple first, the afternoon game, Vancouver at Buffalo. I like Buffalo -110. I mean, the Sabres usually fare well in these early home games, and this is, for all intents and purposes, is a 10 a.m. puck drop for the Canucks. So I'll side with Buffalo at home here. And another one I was keying in on was Washington against New Jersey. It's a huge line, but I like Washington on the puck line at -120 and -2.5 at +140. Jersey's been playing half decent lately, but this is just a mismatch. And I mean, the Devils have won the last 4 against the Devils, each by at least 3 goals. So I'll take Washington by a couple here.
Rod?
Yeah, Washington just beat Jersey, a few days ago, 5-1. So, yeah, I love Washington here on the puck line. Jersey's in trouble. On the opposite, I like the Canucks here. I think this is a revenge spot. They played in Vancouver, 10 days ago, 12 days ago. I think that was the last game before Vancouver took off on this road trip. So, give me the Canucks here. I think they bounce back and beat Buffalo here at a nice plus money. What else do I really jump right at me?
Chris, you got something?
Canes. I like the Canes. This Kings team looks like they packed it in and gave her up. I don't know. They're not scoring like they were. They're not getting the shots like they were. Give me the Canes over the Kings here. Even on a back-to-back on the puck line.
So on YouTube, we got 134 people watching. We got 50 thumbs up. If you guys can hit the thumbs up, greatly appreciated. It's like you guys ask for a lot of picks. I think we deliver a lot of picks. I'm not going to sit here and justify our existence. I don't think I have to. But I am going to justify why you should give us a thumbs up. And it's because it takes you half a second. It costs you absolutely nothing. It helps us a ton. And obviously you're here for a reason. So that we're delivering something that you want to see. So if you want to continue to see that and you want more picks and you want these hour-long shows, you got to at least hit the thumbs up, because if you're not going to do that, we're not going to be able to keep doing them. And that is the truth. And anyways.
Yeah, I'm with Rod on the Hurricanes here. Carolina just overpowered Arizona last night, and it's a lot easier to play a back-to-back when you get to sleep in your own bed. So I'll take Carolina on the puck line here as well.
You got anything else for us?
An unpopular pick that in my inner circle I was getting bashed on was Montreal minus 135 against Ottawa. Like you say, we have to figure out sometimes when to hop on a team and hop off a team. I think this is a spot to hop back on them, as Ottawa just isn't playing good hockey right now. They just lost to Detroit last night, have to play a back-to-back against a Montreal team that's hungry for a win. It hasn't happened in a few weeks. Yeah, I'll take Montreal here.
I'm going the other way. I think Ottawa back at home is where they play their best hockey, is at home, and they played good hockey at home all year. So this Montreal team just looks like trash to me. So you want to pick up Ilya Kovalchuk and think that's going to help you? No thanks. Give me Ottawa here on the money line. I think they're gonna, just like they did last night, they'll hang in there, and someone will sneak out a win. And I'm hoping it's Ottawa.
Anything on the NBA that we missed, Rod, that you were looking at?
Yeah, I have two plays in the NBA. I love the 76ers plus the 2. And give me the Bucks minus 6.
Bucks have not been as strong as they were, but kind of feel like maybe they're sitting on one, right? So
yep.
It's kind of like there's no reason why they have. I mean, we're going to sit here and criticize the team that's 34-6. It's not too easy to do, but we don't really look at it from the 34-6 standpoint. We're looking at it the 22-18 standpoint, which is what they are against the number this season. Chris, you have anything in the NBA that you're looking at in particular?
Yeah, I was on OKC plus the point against the Lakers as well. And the one total I was looking at, I like under 217 in the Pistons and Bulls game. I just think this is a game where the first to 100 wins, and I just think it's a lower scoring game than the total.
I'm with you there. I think it's going to be a bruiser. That's what you call that. To me, it's a lean to the Bulls there as well. I think that Pelicans-Celtics game, I said it in the video last night, I'm concerned about the number here. That's, and I said that if it gets higher, that it might be time to reverse ship. There is heavy action here on the Celtics, but the Pelicans have been absolutely red hot recently. 7-3 straight up, 8-1-1 against the number. I'm going to have to jump ship here. I'm going to go on the Pelicans. I've been on the Celtics more than anybody, and before everybody, and I've also been on the Celtics more than anybody. And they've treated us well, but sometimes it's time to jump ship. And that doesn't mean we're never coming back to Boston for the Celtics, because we will. We will play. we do. But not today. I like the Pelicans here. This is too much. 9.5 points.
Too much.
I mean, the Pelicans they're 8-1-1 against the number in the last 10 games. This team is on the right side of things. They have 14 wins the entire season. Okay, they're 14-25, and they're 7-3 in their last games. In their last 10 games, that means that they were 7-22 at one point, and now they're 14-25. It's like that's a big chunk We're at about the halfway point. We're 3 games away from the halfway point of the NBA season, if you can believe that. And 2 games away. I like the Pelicans. I'm going to take the points. That's what we call a ship jumper.
Somebody lit a fire under the Pelicans' butt to play. Like
I think they watch my videos. They watch my videos. You know? It's like
just out of nowhere, all of a sudden they were.
What in the hell are they doing? It's like
maybe we'll play now. It's like what?
Anyways, I gave out. Those of you that didn't see it, I did a spread knowledge 2 picks before this show. I did a separate show where I just did software picks. But anyways, let's wrap it up. Chris, let's go to you first.
All right. Let's start with the ice. In the matinee, I like Buffalo minus 110 against Vancouver. I just like Buffalo on home ice. Montreal minus 135 against Ottawa. I just think Montreal's due, and they think they pick up the win against Ottawa on a back-to-back. I like the Islanders plus the 110 against Boston just based on value. Philadelphia plus 125 against Tampa Bay for more of the same. Washington minus 1.5 at minus 120 and minus 2.5 at plus 140 against the Devils. Carolina minus 1.5 against the Kings. St. Louis minus 1.5 at plus 120 against the Rangers. I like Chicago minus 135 against the Ducks. I just don't like the way the Ducks have been playing over the last month and a half. I like Vegas minus 1.5 at plus 120. I just like Vegas at home against Columbus. Edmonton plus 140 against Calgary. I like Dallas minus 130 against San Jose. I just don't like the way San Jose has been playing either, and a win over Columbus at home doesn't move the needle much. Puck line parlay 4 teams. I like Vegas, St. Louis, Carolina, Washington at plus 1852. For NFL, I like the Vikings plus the 7 against the 49ers, and I like the Titans plus 10 against the Ravens. College hoops, I like Rutgers plus 5 against Illinois. Alabama plus 10 against Kentucky. Tulane plus 9.5 against Temple. Baylor plus the 8 against Kansas. I think that's way too many points. Creighton plus 3.5 against Xavier. NBA, I like OKC plus the point against the Lakers. And I like under 217 in the Pistons and Bulls.
Roger up.
All right, we'll start with the early hockey game. I like the Canucks here. Big revenge spot for the Canucks. Buffalo beat them last time. I love the Canes here. Canes are going to beat up on the Kings here today. Kings are just bad on the road. Boston, give me Boston here. I like Boston today over the Islanders. Boston's looking like they're back on the roll. Montreal at Ottawa, 2 bad teams, bad games, but I like Ottawa here. Give me Ottawa at home. Washington, going to beat up Jersey again. Devils are 0-5 their last 5 in Washington. Give me Washington on the puck line. Tampa and the Flyers. Tampa's just rolling. Give me Tampa on the puck line. I'm going to stay riding the Blues. Give me the Blues on the puck line. Ducks in Chicago. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this Ducks team either. Give me Chicago at home. Battle of Alberta. Give me the Oilers. Love the Oilers today. Columbus and Vegas. I'm going to take Vegas the last I don't know how many games. I'm taking Columbus in the first period to win the first period. Vegas, their last 5 games at home have all just they come out in the first period and they play flat, and they always been down. They've been down 3 goals, 4 goals. Give me Columbus in the first period. Only way I'm touching that game. Dallas, and then give me Dallas at San Jose. Sharks got 1 win. Yeah, no, not for me. College basketball. I like Ohio State minus 2.5. Give me Ohio State. The Baylor and Kansas. Give me Kansas minus 7.5. I like that. I like Rutgers. Give me Rutgers plus the 5. Love Georgia State minus 11.5. I like Penn State minus 3.5. And one I missed. I like Seton Hall over Marquette. Marquette is 1-4 ATS on the last 5 on the road. Give me Seton Hall. NFL, I like the Vikings. Give me Vikings plus the points. I like Baltimore minus the 9.5 or 10. 10. NBA, I like the 76ers plus the 2, and I like Bucks -6. For me, Birdcage in hockey, all on the puck line. Washington, Carolina, Tampa Bay, all on the puck line. Plus 10 times your money if that hits. College hoops, Birdcage, I'm going to go Georgia State -11.5, Penn State -3.5, and Seton Hall -5.
All good?
All good.
All right. For me, I'm still getting over my cold, but that's why I kind of cut out of the camera a couple times here. Just a little bit of transparency there. But I took Virginia Tech -2, VCU -8.5. Hate Rhode Island. Georgia State, we're going to ride that train until it lets us off at the station. I like Virginia -6.5. I think with the line drop, it makes that pick a lot more appealing than it did at 8. I like the Pelicans plus the 9.5 against the Celtics. No one's been on the Celtics more than I have. I was the one that made the Celtics they were my future bet, right? Is the Celtics this year. And so I like them. I just don't like them here at 9.5 against a Pelicans team that's playing real hard. I like the Sixers here against the Mavericks. The world is on the Mavericks still. No reason. No one's been off the Sixers more than I have over the last 3 years, right? 2 years, since they used to be our dog of the day every day when they were going through the process. That's when I liked the Sixers, and I haven't liked them recently, but this spot just seems tailor-made for them. I like the Chicago Blackhawks -135. I don't usually put hockey picks that I'm too serious about in my picks, but this one I am. And this one, the Blackhawks are 19-20 on the season. They've been 500 every single time they've been one game around. If they're one game over, they drop to 500. If they're one game under, they go up to 500. They're 19-20, -135, Anaheim Ducks. I mean, it's almost like a script, right? It's like
Chicago.
It's perfect spot, you know.
Chicago makes a nice trade over here before the trade deadline. They can get up there. They're only a couple pieces away from being a good hockey team again.
There you have it. Anyways, I also before this show, I did a computer pick show at Charles Ormsby's Spread Knowledge Software, and here's the link to get it if you haven't done it so far. It's a free 7-day trial, and after that, the price is $49.99 a month. It's $12 a week. It ends up being like a penny a pick or something that he goes over. It's less than a penny a game that the software goes over for you. So there's no excuse that it's too expensive or anything like that. I haven't heard, normally I hear that it's too expensive for things or whatever. I've not heard that about this. So that's why I fully endorse it and stand behind it. I know I beat it yesterday in one game, but and I'm going to beat it again on Monday. But overall, this thing was up 109 units in its A and A+ rated picks over the last 30 days. I'm not. I know that much. I'm honest enough to say that. But the software loves Austin P, both money line and points, and Houston, both money line and points. So I'm going to do that. But so those are my picks for today. Plus, I got premium picks. I got 27 video picks for today. You can check those out. We have free picks on every single game. Yeah, everyone uses it. Ty Clinton has this question, and I don't even understand why he would ask this. I like Ty. He's in our Facebook group, and he's been around the internet as long as I have, as far as in our stuff. Has anyone used this data system yet? Over 400 people signed up for this software so far through our link for the free trial. Over 400 people. So yes, I would say people are using it. It's like, that would be yes. I know Rod uses it. 400 people signed up for the software. Anyways, let me bring the Puck Dawgz back. So guys, got a full day. I'll be back at halftime of the Titans-Ravens game and then that 49ers game. Hopefully we got something to talk about then. The nice thing about the early halftime at least, and the late one I guess today, is that there will be other games out there. So maybe I'll get Charles Ormsby to come on with me to bring his software, because it's like there's only so many times I can say the pick without getting frustrated. Who do we like? People join us, who do we like? And I know people join late at those halftime shows, but that's why you got to sign up you got to subscribe to our channel and get those notifications. We got 178 people watching. How many likes do we have? Anybody? Do we have a count? Rod, can you see? I can't see.
I can't.
I'll look. Right? I know I ain't gonna like it. Let's see. 93 likes, 144 watching on YouTube currently. So I think we can do better than that. If you guys can just hit the thumbs up, greatly appreciate it. I'll see you guys at halftime. Someone has a question here. Any thoughts on the Georgetown game? I have a video out there on YouTube on that game, as well as there's a free quick write-up at pickdawgz.com. I'll see you guys at halftime of the first game and halftime of the second game. Might even do a special show in between with Charles and see if we can get him. He had kid problems last night, so that's why he was not with me earlier this morning, but we just roll without him. That's what we do. If you're not here, we're starting without you. We'll have Steve Monahan back with us tomorrow morning. Hopefully he fixes his computer problems. Have a great day, everyone. I'll see you guys. Thanks, guys, for joining me. Always fun.
Always.
Always.